What is up, guys? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my prize picks breakdown for UFC Denver. We have Rose Namajunas taking on Tracy Cortez, and yeah, a ton sticking out from a prize picks perspective this week. A lot of fight time props, some other things sticking out. So yeah, I can't wait to break it all down. Before we do so, if you guys could like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are liking from a prize picks perspective. And as always, if you guys are new to prize picks and want to check it out, use promo code DFSBTN and get a 100% deposit match up to $100 free money. Check it out. And also, this video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy. If you guys want to check out Daily Grind Fantasy, do so. Use promo code DFSBTN and get a 25% off your first month. And basically, they take the lines from the sports books and they give you the most plus EV spots on Prize Picks, Underdog, and many other daily fantasy websites. And it's not just UFC. They have every sport you can think of on there as well. So check it out. Daily Grind Fantasy, promo code DFSBTN. All right, so yeah, we have a lot to talk about here in this video. A lot of fight time props sticking out, probably the most fight time props ever sticking out ever. So the first one is going to be Evan Elder, less than 12.5 minutes fight time, and he's taking on Darius Flowers. This was a fight that was randomly made on Wednesday of fight week, and I just don't understand why they did that. I mean, they're bringing Darius Flowers in here on 3 days notice at elevation. What could go wrong? The answer is a lot. I think a lot could go wrong. You know, Darius Flowers typically round 1 KO or bust in general, but bringing him in on 3 days notice at elevation, I think it's just a recipe for disaster. See, I think Flowers can maybe land a big shot early, but I think the more likely scenario is Evan Elder could win early as well. But as the fight goes on, I think it definitely favors Evan Elder, and I expect him to get a mid to late finish here. But yeah, less than 12.5 minutes. I feel like that should be closer to, honestly, like 8 or 9. Like it's a Darius Flowers fight. So I really like Evan Elder less than 12.5 fight time minutes. Next, we got Josh Fremd, less than 11.5 minutes fight time. Yeah, I think it's a really violent fight here. How I'm seeing this fight, I think it's Petrosky has a good chance to go out there, get takedowns. You know, Fremd does not have the best takedown defense at all. I think on paper it's like less than 40%. And yeah, Petrosky, I think he has a chance to maybe sub Fremd in the first round. And if he doesn't, Petrosky is another guy that is gassing out in really every single fight. There's been some fights where he has been able to get late finishes, but I think that has to do more so with the opponent. Late finish against Michael Gilmore and Yazong, who, not the most impressive wins. When guys are able to provide resistance, Petrosky crumbles. He crumbled in the Malkoun fight, the battle fight in the Tough House. He's been finished outside the UFC as well by knockout. So, I question the durability of Petrosky. I think it's Petrosky early, or I think it's Fremd could be early as well. But as the fight goes on, I think it does favor him. Give me the less than 11.5 minutes fight time. But like 12.5, but I mean, what can you do? I think it is a violent fight here, though. Next, we have Gabriel Bonfim, another fight time. Less than 10 minutes fight time. The more I think about this fight, the more the weeks went on. I think Bonfim probably does make it look easy. Apparently, there are rumors that Angelusa potentially has staph, and maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I saw the weigh-ins. It looked like he was covering something up, so maybe he does. But either way, I think that Bonfim, if he's winning this fight, if he's paying off this massive price tag, he's minus 350, minus 400, I think he is going to go out there and get an early finish, probably in the first round, but in the first 7.5 minutes especially. If this fight does not end within the first 7.5 minutes, I worry about Bonfim. So I think this covers the majority of Bonfim's win condition, and on top of that, I think it covers a little bit of Angelusa if Bonfim does completely gas out like he did in the Dalby fight. But I think Bonfim probably does get it done in the first round, and if that's the case, this is going to hit pretty easily. Another fight time prop. We got plenty. Santiago Ponzinibbio, less than 12.5 minutes fight time. I think both these guys are done. I think both these guys are washed. I think the durability is is no longer there for either guy. We've seen Salikov get knocked out a lot recently. We've seen Ponzinibbio get knocked out a lot recently. Both these guys are getting up there in age. I think the durability of both guys is pretty shot. I feel like Santiago Ponzinibbio, the more this fight gets extended, the more it is going to favor him. Salikov's another guy that does slow down as the fight goes on, especially in elevation. You got to expect him to slow down even more. See, I think both guys in the first round are live to land a big shot. But as the fight goes on, I do expect Ponzi to have more success. I could see, a Salikov early knockout. If not, I could see Ponzi finishing him later on in the second or third. So I don't mind the less on fight time in a fight where I think both guys are kind of on their way out, and the durability is no longer there between the two. And then the last fight time, I promise. But there, like I said, there's a lot of fight time sticking out. I think there's a lot of violence on this card. Abdulrazak Alasan, less than 6.25 minutes fight time. It was 6.5 earlier in the week. It has bumped down just a tad, which is fine. And even with the bump down, both Abdulrazak Alasan and Cody Brundage have never won a fight in the UFC that went more than 6.25 minutes. Cody Brundage, 4 wins in the UFC, all 4 come in the first round. Abdulrazak Alasan, 12 wins in his career, 11 in the first round, and the one that came out of the first round finished in the first 60 seconds of the second round. So yeah, like I said, neither guy has won a fight that has went more than 6.25 minutes. Both these guys are extremely front-loaded, extremely dangerous. I think there's a good chance we get a finish in the very first round here. All right, enough with the fight time, guys. Let's move on to the fantasy score here. And it's going to be Evan Elder, 102.5 on the fantasy score. I feel like this is pretty much a smash spot. I'm not sure Darius Flowers is a UFC caliber. I don't like the circumstances really for either fighter, but especially Darius Flowers. 3 days notice at elevation. The guy's been knocked out how many times, been submitted how many times. I think Evan Elder gets a finish. Probably it could even be in the first round as well. But as the fight goes on, it's going to heavily favor Evan Elder. So I think Evan Elder gets a finish, and I think he does score more than 102.5 here. I got another fantasy score. It's going to be Montel Jackson, less than 85.5 on the fantasy score. I just see a lot of grappling here. Overall, I think Blackshear is going to completely sell out in the grappling, like he does in most fights, but this fight especially, because on the feet, although I think Blackshear can maybe hold his own a bit, you got to favor Jackson. I think Blackshear is going to really, like I said, really sell out for the wrestling, push Jackson against the cage. I think, a lot of this fight is going to play against the cage, and I think Blackshear is going to try to get takedowns here as well. And I think if Jackson's winning this fight, it's either by decision, maybe a late finish if Blackshear slows down, but I think more often than not, this is going to decision, and I don't think Jackson's going to get much takedowns. I don't think Jackson's going to land a ton of strikes, because I don't think Blackshear is going to let him. So I like this less than 85.5 on the fantasy score. Even in a Jackson win, I'm not sure he gets more, but I'm actually picking Blackshear to get the job done. So just another reason I like the less there. Significant strikes, Luana Santos. This is the only significant strike spot that really stuck out to me this week. I think this is a little bit too high for Santos, 64.5, because I feel like there's a lot of ways this could go less. I feel like this fight's going to finish inside the distance. I feel like, these ladies are going to stand and bang when this fight's on the feet, but what I feel like Santos is going to do is get this fight down to the ground ASAP. I don't think she's going to want to really mess around on the feet with Maria Agapova, because on the ground, Luana Santos has a very big advantage, and if she does get the fight down to the mat, I think Santos is going to find that sub at some point. So, yeah, I like the less than 64.5 significant strikes. I don't think the game plan is going to be to go out there and strike with Agapova for 15 minutes. I think it's going to be get the fight down to the mat and do work from there. And then finally, a takedown spot I like for this week. It's going to be Montel Jackson, less than 2 takedowns. I feel like the game plan for Jackson is going to be keeping this upright. Jackson's got a ton of takedowns in fights before, but in matchups where it kind of made sense, it wouldn't really make sense to me for him to go out there and take down Damon Blackshear 3 times, because I feel like he is going to be better on the feet, and I feel like Blackshear has the takedown defense, the grappling in this fight as well. So I like Jackson less than 2 takedowns. I don't think shooting takedowns should be in the game plan. Maybe 1 or 2, but a 3 would be a lot in this matchup, I think. So give me the less on 2 takedowns here for Montel Jackson. And yeah, there it is. Those are the plays sticking out for this week. Lots of fight time, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get some violence, and hopefully we can get some of these this week. So yeah, best of luck, everybody, for UFC Denver. Like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel on your way out. And again, if you guys want to check out PrizePicks and have not already, use that promo code DFSBTN, and you will get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Check it out. It helps me. Obviously, it helps you guys as well. Check it out there. So yeah, guys, best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later.